in the game.
I'm Simon Stanley-Clamp and I was Visual Effects Supervisor for Cinesite. We worked on 264 shots across 5 key sequences where we go back in time to visit various episodes from places in the Avengers history. Steve Rogers and Tony Stark go back to Camp Lee.
Plain sight.
For that, we reference the original Captain America movie, shots from the layout of the base, little details like the flag that Steve Rogers gets down. It features in the wide shot we have of Camp Lee High. But the look of the base hadn't really changed that much from when Steve Rogers was originally there. We filled it out with hundreds and hundreds of extras, shot as new screen elements, and filled out the accommodation of the camp base right back into the distant environment.
Visitor from MIT.
Tony Stark inside the bunker is a set extension in both directions.
Hey!
And that borrowed from Captain America as well. The props in the background borrowed from other movies, and right down to tiny details that are barely noticeable. We put the Zola face on one of the monitors off in the distance, so he's featuring in there in an almost invisible moment.
Back in the game.
Our sequence in Camp Lehigh has little nuggets like a photograph of Steve Rogers on a desk, references to the Pym particles, and you know the fans are going to pick up on these little details.
You promise me you won't die?
Ant-Man, costume slightly updated, but he needed to look the same as
That wasn't supposed to happen, was it?
in Ant-Man.
Thanos knows.
Nebula, we had a lot of reference again from Infinity Wars, getting the look of the eyes right.
You won't let me.
We replaced her arm in almost every shot and were able to do things like expose the wrist so you can see through a nice small detail you couldn't do with an animatronic or prosthetic.
He knows.
The Outriders, developed by one of the other vendors, we have this 6-armed biped creature who is very aggressively described as a monkey/dog. They move at incredible speed and they're very agile. That was a nice character to get our teeth into, good for animation and texture works. That's essential for us to match them to Infinity Wars.
Stay on.
So we see Tony,
If you find this recording,
a bit like Robinson Crusoe, just talking to the helmet. And the helmet was a practical prop and it had lights in it, but we added all the hologram effects, the scanning. And Tony's been thinned down, emaciated by another vendor, and we took their plates, dropped them back into our shots. And then the space environment is a CG entity. It took a while to get the balance right between empty, lost, distant, but having detail in there and not looking too close. And then the colorway, there's a very particular look to the interior of the cockpit. There's slightly sickly cyan green look had to be mirrored in the space environment. The sequence with Morag is fun.
Hey, can we hurry it up?
Guys, chop chop.
All that? Really helpful.
It features a lot of the characters, so you've got War Machine, Nebula, Hawkeye, and Black Widow. It is a direct reference to Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and it opens with a straight CG shot of the ship flying down to the planet, and then a series of shots of the escape pod being deposited, and then the final wide shot of the planet
Right on that line, that's it. Down, down.
is an exact reference back to Guardians 1, and it's the same layout, matched the look of the shot, the sky, the layout of the big monolithic arches in the background, but just shifted the camera around so you're looking at it just a slightly different viewpoint. Those shots, exactly match Guardians 1.
Where are you right now?
As that sequence progresses, we hook up to Quill doing his dancing sequence from, again, Guardians 1. And that's a really nice sequence where we intercut with new footage. So Quill in the same location, but again from a slightly different camera. And it's Nebula and War Machine's POV.
So he's an idiot.
So we matched the original movie, extending the set up and back, putting in a little bit of sky in the roof, adding water dripping to the columns and all the foliage around there. That had to match the original footage. The space rats, which Quill uses as like a microphone. It's quite subtle animation, but Quill's holding them, they're wriggling around, they're crawling up and down. You see them jumping about in the environment. It's a nice little creature to get your teeth into. Nebula stealing the orb out of the laser net or laser cage. Again, it's a reference to Guardians 1 where Quill steals it, but in a slightly different way. Here, Nebula puts her arm through the laser, so you see all the destruction. That's some nice effects work on there. We've got metal burning, melting, getting ionized and breaking up. A good sequence really to develop a look that was set up in the first movie, but take to another level.
I wasn't always like this.
Me either.
Dan DeLue, the main supervisor, briefed us on every sequence, running through the previs, looking at reference, say with the RT sequence, sending us drawings to work up. He gave us very detailed briefs, and then Mortem was our supervisor for all our sequences. Very hands-on, mainly through CineSync and then sessions here. With any project, as you get closer to delivery, you're working a lot closer, perhaps doing daily CineSync sessions.
And you've won.
Ooh, the best Avenger. Spider-Man? Maybe time travel? I hate commuting. If I could just get somewhere, that would be it. I think it's got to be Captain America. Honest, trustworthy, reliable. Captain America.